Dating after a breakup. In this video, I'm gonna share with you my personal approach when it comes to dating after a breakup. It's quite controversial, so I'll be very curious to hear your comments on this approach. Let me know in the comment section. In this video, we're gonna talk about when should you date, how should you date, how to pick the right partner, how to know if it's the right one, what to do if you are struggling, if you feel it's too hard to date. I will answer all those questions after the jingle.
igetmyexback.com. Everyone deserves a second chance.
So let's start with when is it the right time to date? In a way, you will never know when it's the right time. And at the same time, you will kind of know when it's the right time. Let me explain. It's something you need to experience. In a way, some people feel ready and they download an app or they start going out. And some people, they never feel ready up until they meet someone. And so my idea, my advice is to test and see. And you might object, hold on, I'm still not over with my previous relationship. I still have feelings for this person. That's not very healthy. That's not fair to date someone if I have feelings for my ex. And you might argue, well, if I date someone and I still have feelings for my ex, am I rebounding? And you would be right, you're kind of rebounding. But my view is that rebounding is not necessarily bad. Let me explain. I'm not against rebound because if you know you're rebounding, then it can't harm. Of course, if you don't know that you're rebounding, if you're using that person as some sort of emotional band-aid, yes, it can prolong the healing process. But in a way, dating someone, having intimacy with someone can rebuild your self-esteem, can help you feel more confident. And I know very often after a breakup, we feel worthless. We feel completely, we lost all our confidence in our ability to seduce, for example, to be with someone. Very often we feel like, I never date anyone. So in a way, to break this sort of myth or, limited belief that you have about yourself, dating someone can really help. Now, the question is whether using someone, is it bad or not? I don't know. I care about you. You're my clients, you're my audience. I care about you. If you don't lie, if you don't manipulate people, and you're having a good time with the person you date, I don't see any harm. Let me know if you disagree with this approach. I think if you use that person and sort of stay with that person for a very long time, yes, that could hurt this person, but in a way, I find that it's kind of helpful to date someone, even if you don't have to be in love with that person. That's not the point. The point is to validate the fact that you can seduce someone, that you can have a good time with someone, that you can share some moment and not necessarily be on your own. Yes, that person might not tick all the boxes. It doesn't really matter. It helps you as well to turn the page, and in a way sometimes rebound can have this effect. 5 rules, however, you have to follow if you want to date or if you want to rebound. I don't care if it's a rebound. First of all, accept this is a rebound. That's the first one, the most important one. Accept this is a rebound. You know you're rebounding. You're not completely over your ex. Treat this person with respect. It makes sense, but some people, they need to be reminded of that. Don't include them in your social circle. So the thing is, very often when people rebound, they want, and they don't know they're rebounding, they want to make this relationship a success, and therefore they will accelerate the process. They will introduce them to their friends, their family, and you'll very often see those rebound relationships being very developing very quickly. If you want to protect them, don't introduce them to your friends. Keep this relationship hidden, keep this relationship just between the two of you as long as you need it. If you feel more comfortable, and sometimes rebound relationship, not very often, but sometimes rebound relationship evolves to something more serious, then yes, but don't try to accelerate the process. Enjoy time with them. Don't project yourself. Don't project the relationship. Don't, even though it's hard not to do, don't compare them with your ex. The idea is to have a good time. Each date is an opportunity for you to know someone new, get some nice experiences, whether it's going out, doing activities, having sex, all those things are always nice to have. And last, don't use this person to make your ex jealous. It's very important you treat them with respect. You also have to treat your ex with respect in that sense. It's very tempting to use this person to show your ex, you sort of dumped me, I won the breakup, I'm dating someone. Perhaps he's more handsome or she's more charismatic or whatever. Don't use this person to make your ex jealous. Keep it secret. Again, my best advice, if you want to use this, I shouldn't say use, if you want to have this relationship and use this relationship, I will use this relationship to feel better, keep it secret. It's going to be the best way to achieve this. If you don't like that person, if you start dating someone and you don't like this person, reflect on why. And there are a few questions you need to ask yourself. First one, is it because they are different than your ex, and why those differences make you feel unattracted or you feel it's not clicking? Making sure that you're not projecting your past experiences. Maybe you're trying to force chemistry or connection. Maybe you see that there's not a mutual effort in the relationship, and I've done a reels on Instagram recently, just to summarize it very quickly. If he doesn't reply, he's simply not interested in you. So usually my audience, people are adults, and we don't play games anymore. And so if you're dating, and I know the game of dating, and I'll discuss at the end of the video how to navigate the dating element, don't be with someone who is playing game with you. You don't have time for that. Be in that relationship, enjoy, and be with someone available. I have listed a lot of those questions and things you need to ask yourself that you can download in the description. There's a link. It's totally free. I've decided to include a written document each time on my videos because I know there's so many things that I want to include, but it would make really difficult for you to listen to everything and read everything at the same time. And also I find that listening is great, hearing is great, reading my slide is great, but it's even better if you have something that you can reflect on, where you can a little bit deepen your knowledge on a specific subject. So there's a guide, there's a small document that you can download for free in the description of this video. Another option is they don't like me. It could happen. You cannot always be successful. And one thing you need to do to protect you is reject the rejecter. You don't want to fight, especially early on, a relationship where you feel that that person is actually not into you. If you end up with someone who ghosts you in very often, especially after a breakup, and that's why people are very hesitant to date, because they don't want to be rejected again. Don't take things personally. And again, something that I discussed in the guide. This has nothing to do with you, nothing to do with your self-worth. It's just that, and actually ask yourself the question, before you were with your ex, I'm pretty sure you dated people that you didn't like. And you also met people that didn't like you. That's part of the game in a way. And I know it's very difficult to perceive this as a game, because this kind of game we never want to lose, because when someone doesn't like us, it makes us feel weak, it makes us feel sort of not attractive, we feel worthless, and so on and so forth. And it's very tempting unconsciously to go through that route of like, I'm not good enough, I never find anyone. In a way, I know you don't want to hear this, but it's a numbers game. You have to go on various dates to find a person where it will click on your side and on their side. It's just, very important for you not to maintain any form of ambiguity. If the person is playing hot and cold, especially at the beginning, you just let them go. You don't have time for this kind of game or this kind of situation where people don't want, just to spend time with you and have a good time with you. The first date. So by experience, the first date is always after breakup. The first date with that first person will not be great, and that's not going to be a good predictor of whether this relationship will be a good relationship. So I would advise you to give that person another chance, because very often when we go on that first date, we still have, unconsciously, we project a lot of things from our ex, we compare, and so obviously we're gonna have a very tainted image of this new person. So give them a second, a third chance. My point is not to force a relationship, but sometimes it's good to perhaps give that person another shot. And it's very often, sometimes just a question of time of you to readjust yourself dating someone new, because it requires a little bit of adaptation, obviously, to date someone new. I wanted to share this letter that I received this week from a client. I've hidden her name. Just highlighted that I've met somebody new. Who would have thought it was possible? Obviously, I'm not going to tell her name. I'm not going to. But it's interesting. She's in her. I think she's 56. And remember when I spoke with her, one of her main thing was like, he broke up with me. I'm not sure I want him back, but it's so hard for me to feel that I'm alone, and I'm 56. I'm not going to find anyone. And for me, I'm 38. I'm a guy. I can't really, in a way, I can relate, but it's very hard for me to sort of object to this, because I don't know how it is for someone who's 56 and who is, single. And if you're in that case, here's an example. He's not an exception, he's an example. And I'm pretty sure that regardless of your age, regardless of your gender, regardless of where you live, you'll find people single who are ready to date you. I can guarantee you, and I know it's frustrating because in a way it's a bit of a numbers game, but you'll find that person. Because in a way, what you went through, breaking up at 50, breaking up at 60 years old, or 40, or whenever, I'm pretty sure that someone also experienced the same. It's a numbers game. You'll find that person. Trust me. Dating sucks. I know. I hated it when I used to date. You're going to experience a few setbacks. You're going to find a lot of people not interesting. You're not going to click with a lot of people. It's very hard because anytime it doesn't work, you feel like I'm going to start from scratch, and I get it. But you'll get through it. Trust me. Remember this example of my client? When I spoke with her a year ago, she would never believe that she would meet someone who would get along with her daughter, someone where she would spend great nights and do things together, where she would feel like I'm in love with someone and he loves me and it's simple and we don't have to play games. A year from now, a year ago, she would have never said that to me. In reality, she just did it, and if she can do it, you can do it. That's for sure. It's just a question of mindset. Again, you have people, whether you're male or female, you'll find someone who, in your city where you live, has been through, for example, the same situation that you've been through. My almost proven method, almost, because it's not scientific, and in a way it looks a bit like the law of attraction that I hate, but hear me out. Setbacks, when you date, will bring negativity. When someone ghosts you, when they don't call back, you start thinking about your self-value, your perception of your worth, and that brings negativity. You're gonna be very defensive when you go on dates. You're gonna trust people. You're gonna be not wanting to be social because you want to protect yourself. What you have to do is to be mindful that you're doing this, and what you have to understand is by being negative, you're gonna shut down any opportunities. Your non-verbal cues will be negative. Your attitude will be negative, and you're not gonna attract people by being negative. It does make sense, but people do it anyway. So it's by being positive, by being outgoing, that you will attract people positivity. The study on lucky people, it's very interesting. They did a very interesting study about luck, and they asked people who were lucky. So people think like, I'm lucky, I'm not lucky, and they sort of tested people who felt lucky, and they basically walked in the street and there was like a $50 bill on the pavement. People who found themselves lucky took the opportunity. There was another experiment where someone would sort of stop them in the street for a survey. People who are not lucky, who felt themselves not lucky, would not stop will not seize the opportunity, right? And at the end, the outcome was that when you take part of the survey, you earn $100, something like that. So the lucky people were, they said yes to opportunities, ended up winning money, and therefore you can reinforce this idea of like, I was not lucky because I didn't get part in the survey. You didn't take part in the survey because you said no initially. You sort of said like, I'm not lucky, I'm not good enough, I'm not gonna date anyone, which is an interpretation. That's not the truth. You've dated before, you will date in the future. This opinion about yourself is based on those limited beliefs. And of course, the breakup will affect your self-esteem, will affect your confidence. So it's really being mindful of those, okay, hold on, am I being clairvoyant, as we say in French? Am I being realistic? Or am I just using the filter created by the breakup, this negativity, when it comes to dating someone? If you have any question on this topic, because it's kind of a new topic, let me know in the comment section or book a call with me. There's a link as well in the description. Good luck. You will find the right partner for you. I am sure. Every single day I receive messages of people telling me like, I found someone finally. It takes a bit of time sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, but you will find that person.
igetmyexback.com. Everyone deserves a second chance.